So let's just bring our mind to the same place our body is. You know, we've probably been running around all day or have projects that we're working on. The mind is busy. So it's very good, particularly this time of night, to try and settle ourselves and not super excite the mind. So by the time our head hits the pillow, the mind is going a million miles an hour. So this is an excellent practice to sort of just start that settling process. So if you are sitting at a desk and your feet are down on the ground, have them in a parallel position. So try not to be crossing your ankles with your knees out. So just have the knees parallel, the ankles parallel, about a hip's width apart. And other than that, if you're sitting in the regular cross-legged meditation posture, you can support your knees with a couple of cushions if your knees and hips are tight. So this is nothing about forcing. We don't need to have a perfect posture, but we're trying to align ourselves and get the body in a place that's most conducive for focusing, for concentration, and for allowing the energy to flow through the channels, the chakras. So the hands are in the meditation position, and in this particular tradition, they teach the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. But if you have learned meditation anywhere else, you're welcome just to keep your hands where it's most comfortable for you, for our purposes here. Make sure you're sitting on something firm and maybe raised 2, 3, or 4 inches. And imagine your shoulders are aligned with your spine, that's your hips, sorry. And that your ears, your head is stretching up a little bit and gliding back to align with your shoulders. So we have because of the way we sit at desks, I think we have a habit to sort of stick our head forward. And over time, as we get older, the weight of the head eventually, when it's out of line, starts to create this rounded back, which my chiropractor tells me is not very good for the brain, the functioning of the brain. So let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. You can imagine someone is lengthening your spine. Welcome, Maria. Manuel, Stephanie. The head is slightly tipped forward, just giving you a little bit of length in the back of the neck, but not too far forward. The tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp. Just imagine just everything releasing on the top of the head. And then the forehead, the eyes, and then bring your attention to the back of the eye, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, and the jaw. And then bring your awareness to the back of the head, around about the base of the skull, the occipital bone. Just relax that area and then notice what's relaxing in your face. Back of your tongue, temples, jaw, your ears. Now just imagine you have a nice warm light and you're shining it into your ear. Relaxing your ear, relaxing the eardrum, and relaxing the jaw. Release any tension in the back of the neck, the shoulders. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. And try to bring your attention to the area in between the 2 shoulder blades and relax the upper thoracic area there. Relax your throat, chest, belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath as we notice the sensation of the air as you're flowing in. It's slightly cooler than the air you're exhaling. And you'll notice the sensation of the air flowing in and out as somewhere along the nostrils, depending on if you've done any training, meditation training before. If Vipassana, they teach you to notice the sensations in one spot, according to which tradition or which teachers, which lineage. So it'll be different places along the nose. So for our purposes this evening, just notice the sensation of the air flowing in from the outside of the nostrils. If you do have any sounds in your environment, if there's any noise, just be aware of what it is that attracts your mind there. Or are you trying to reject sound? Is it distracting you? And just notice. Don't try not to judge. Just notice what your mind does with sound. Why does it go towards that sound? And then just think, I'm just going to let that sound alone. Just allow it to be there. And then allow it to just defocus, become blurry. If sound can become blurry. And then just notice your thoughts as they arise, abide, and fall. And try not to engage with your thoughts. Because you'll notice if you don't engage, they will just dissolve. It's quite tricky. So try not to judge the thoughts, create stories, wander off down some storyline. Keep bringing the mind back to the breath. And because you have fires in your area, I'm going to add in olfactory sense of smell. So if you can smell wildfire smoke, again, allow that smoke to be there, allow that smell to be there, and try not to create a story around it, just for the moment. Allow yourself to relax into meditation. So let's bring to mind all the people of our life, the ones we love, care about, the ones we reject, push away, don't want to have anything to do with. And then there's those people in our life who we're indifferent to, they're strangers to us. So just think that any time in our life, these people from these three different groups can change places. And we always have incredible concern, like those of us who knew Coral are concerned about her right now. We care about her. But we should have equal concern for the strangers and for those that we reject, because they're all the same as us in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. And they're all the same in this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment. This pure, clear stuff we have inside of us is who we really are and who we've always been. So this Vajrasattva practice is one of many practices in this tradition to help us mine for that gold. It's just layers of dirt lying on top of it. We just need to clear it away. So just remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So we start this practice with this power of regret. So just bring to mind something from your life, anything you've done this week, last month, last year, this life, to harm another sentient being. And just develop a sense of regret in your heart. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma. Because we've harmed another, we will experience suffering in the future. Logically, therefore, it would make sense, if we don't want to experience that suffering, to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart anything I've done to harm others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, basically our delusions, really. Attachment, grasping, and neediness that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I am sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, not as like some kind of person that needs to forgive us. We're not asking for forgiveness. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. We're taking his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head, a couple of inches maybe. He's made of this blissful, radiant white light. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, however you see this person who's guiding you along the spiritual path. If you don't happen to have a teacher right now, you can imagine someone like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, or Lamas at Purify, someone that maybe you've known or you've heard teachings from that's inspired you. You can imagine it just makes it a little bit more down to earth, a bit more personal. So he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus, again made of light, and a moon cushion. And this lotus, known in India, these lotuses, they grow out of muddy ponds. But by the time they open, they're just pristine. So they're not tainted by that mud. So the analogy goes, this is our enlightened mind is born out of our delusions, but yet is untainted by them. His face is radiant and peaceful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He doesn't have any judgmental thoughts towards you. He's accepting you just as you are, meeting you where you're at. Whatever is you're turning up with tonight, however you're showing up, this is perfect. Just perfect. He has a sweet red mouth and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. And he's wearing the silken celestial scarves and attire of the Royal Indian style, in the Royal Indian style. He's wearing jewelry all over his body. And he has a beautiful aura of light around his head and around his body. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, this is just a little section that's been added in here by Venerable Rabina. We need to imagine or just think of the people that we have harmed and try and develop a sense that they will not suffer, a sense of compassion for them. And the same thing for the people who have harmed us, even though it might seem a little more difficult, because the suffering they've caused us will create suffering for them in the future without any doubt. So because of that, we develop a compassionate heart towards them. So now we come to the power of the remedy. And this is the actual medicine, doing the practice, visualization and recitation of the mantra. So first we purify the body. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar coming out of a hose or a waterfall, but forcefully pouring into your head, into your body, through your head, your heart, your chakra and the crown chakra. I'm feeling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all your lower orifices all the negativity, any negativity you've done with your body, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vapadina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Bokaya Mebawa Narakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. I think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around, again, quite forcefully entering your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows, kind of quite forcefully overflows and disappears into space. Not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar, filling you overflowing. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Duda Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So just imagine the moment they hear your voice, it benefits their mind and makes them happy. So the next is a purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a room and you just switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. It's a dark room that you're walking into. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all your delusions, your anger and depression and attachment and anxiety and grasping and neediness and not feeling worthy enough and not feeling like you're enough, and your bitterness and your grudges and all this kind of nonsense that we have in our mind that's not really who we are. All of this disappears instantly as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which is the source of all of our own suffering, are delusions. And the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech are totally purified, gone. And just think there is no way you could do anything other than harm, than love, benefit others, and that there's no room for anything in your heart other than love and wisdom and compassion and forgiveness and bliss and kindness. So the next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And you, if you wish, you can recite just a couple of mantras for each visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind. Or just imagine light and nectar pouring into you through your crown, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is a power of resolve, and it's the fourth step in the purification process, where we just make a decision. We just decide, I'm going to start refraining from harming. And so it's not going to happen overnight, because we all have habits and we're all human. But just think of something you want to work on and think that I'll refrain from doing this thing consciously for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or for a minute or 5 minutes or however long you feel you can. So we don't lie to ourselves and go, oh, I'm going to do this for 2 days, and then we don't. Just think, I mean, the easiest one is, oh, well, I won't gossip about anyone between the time I go to sleep tonight and I wake up tomorrow morning, and then there you are. You've kept that vow to yourself. And then for those people who've been doing this for a long time, really rejoice in your efforts and pat yourself on the back. Fantastic. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And Lama Yeshe used to call this union oneness. So next Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So we can perhaps think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. Or that perhaps the way things appear to me may not be exactly the way they exist. So they appear differently to me than the way they are. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy, all the merit we've created this evening, doing this purification, to all living beings, to all the people of our life, to all the people involved in all these fires, to all you people in Santa Fe who probably can smell all the smoke. So just dedicate all this virtuous karma from doing this practice. So may it ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursul, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Thank you so very much. So lovely to see you all. And please do take care. Oh, hi. Who is that? Oh, Maria. Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Sleep well. Take care. Drive carefully. And I will see some of you tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.